name is Amber and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to do my September wrap-up. I will not be talking about the books I read for Contemporary-a-thon, so if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about the books I read for Contemporary-a-thon, please be linking my Contemporary-a-thon wrap-up. The first book I read this month was To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. This was a reread. It's been floating around for a while now because the movie has just come out on Netflix, which is what had prompted my reread. This book is about a girl named Laura Jean who, when she ever has really strong feelings for a boy, she writes a letter to get them all out and basically keeps it in a box, and one day her letters get sent out. If you've been around for a while, you'll know that I originally didn't like this book and that my 3-star rating was like a very low 3-star rating, and that I was being generous, and that I felt that this book wasn't for me. However, upon reread, I still gave this book 3 stars. However, Peter has kind of grown on me. Even though he's not the kind of love interest that I would root for, I kind of understand where he's coming from a little bit more. Why I immediately picked up P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. This picks up pretty much where To All the Boys I Loved Before left off. It introduces us to a new leg of Love Triangle Pie, and I totally love John Ambrose. I get why there is debate on John Ambrose or Peter Kavinsky, and I am a John Ambrose girl. What can I say? But I can say I definitely get where the Peter Kavinsky love can be from. However, he still was aggravating me. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. The next book I read was The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book was also a reread. I listened to the audiobook of this one in preparation for the movie about a young girl named Star who witnesses her friend Khalil get shot by a police officer in the aftermath of that. And I listened to it on audio this time, and I didn't cry as many times as I did the first time, but it is still so powerful, and I still gave it 5 stars, and I definitely, if you haven't picked this up, you definitely should, and I loved it. It's so powerful and wonderful and worth it. After I finished reading The Hate You Give, I went back to Jenny Han and asked her one more time, am I gonna like Peter Kavinsky? And read Always and Forever Laura Jean. And which picks up shortly after to P.S. I Still Love You. And I will say, though I preferred John Ambrose, I get Peter Kavinsky now. I gave that book 4 stars. Next, I read Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse for the Loosely Bound book club that I run with Dylan the Reader 5 and Murphy Napier. My problem with this is I read it on an airplane. I ended up giving this book 3 stars. It is about a urban fantasy-esque world where demons and have come back around, and my problems with this include the world building. It feels like it wants you to be in the know about Native American mythology, but it doesn't want you to be in the know about Native American things, and it kind of doesn't jive with me very well. When it's telling you it wants you to know but doesn't want you to know. And I think me trying to read this on the plane didn't help, so I ended up giving this book 3. The next thing I read this month was Acorn Cove by Katie O'Neill. I received an e-arc of this through NetGalley, and I just needed some more Katie O'Neill in my life. I absolutely love the Tea Dragon Society and Princess Ever After by her. And so I just wanted to try Acorn Cove and see if I saw how much I loved it, and I did. I gave it 5 stars. It's very interesting to see how Katie O'Neill uses her art style to talk about tough topics like grief and environmentalism, and especially with like acorns being such like cute like aquatic unicorns, but talking about like these tough topics, and it was just a wonderful time, and 5 stars all the way. And the last thing that I read that was not a part of Contemporary-a-thon was Next Year in Havana by Chanel Cleeton. This book I gave 4 stars. It's about a granddaughter who is basically taking her grandmother's ashes back to Havana and deciding where to spread them, but it's also told in the dual perspective of her grandmother while she's still living there, and it's very emotional, and you can definitely tell that the author has to Cuba and how the Cuban Revolution and how that affected so many people, and you can tell that she is writing about that with such love and care, and it's really impactful. However, just like little things like the romance just kind of made it not a full 5 stars, so I gave it 4 stars. Okay, so that is everything that I read this month. Tell me what you read this month in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a nice day.